Devil's Reign.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to another episode of
Tomes of Evil. Devil's Reign.
I am your host, Justin the Owl, and I'm here tonight, actually solo for the first time on a Tomes of Evil episode. Russell, my lovely co-host Russell, and I have decided that logistically, because of schedules this week, it would be easier if we recorded a couple of episodes separately for the new Devil's Reign issues, which just came out last week, in the interest of time, just to make sure that we can get the episodes out quickly. So that's what we're doing this week, and the issue that I am going to be covering is Devil's Reign X-Men number 2, which is our spotlight on the wonderful Emma Frost. And I'll give the credits for the issue, and we'll dive right into it. The writer is Jerry Duggan, penciler, inker, and colorist Phil Noto. The letterer is Clayton Cowles, and we have two editors on this issue, Lauren Amaro and Jordan D. White. And the issue opens with Emma Frost being questioned after the cliffhanger ending from the previous issue, which we also covered here. If you haven't listened to that episode, please check that out. She's being questioned in regards to the events of the previous issue. And as she is being questioned, we start to learn a few very interesting little secrets about Emma Frost that we would never have probably thought of before this issue. It turns out that Emma Frost has been rubbing elbows with a lot of big names in the Marvel Universe for quite a while. We see her in one panel schmoozing with Tony Stark at a club. She's sitting behind Jennifer Walters, the She-Hulk, in court in another panel. The most hilarious panel is when she's sitting at the edge of the bed after Nick Fury has had a tryst of some sort in some hotel room somewhere. I love that, by the way. And she even poses as Sue Storm to get some money from a bank. It's fantastic. So, right off the bat, we realize that Emma Frost has been doing a lot of really important things behind the scenes that we never would have realized. And then we're treated to a little bit of a flashback after that. After the events of the previous issue, Elektra appears at the Hellfire Club base. Now, as a preface to that, we're not actually told how long of a span of time has passed between this flashback and the current events of the issue. But we can assume it's a decent number of years, because this is back when Emma Frost is still with the Hellfire Club and still an important member of that group. But Elektra just helps herself into Emma's private quarters one evening, knocking her way through the guards, as Elektra does. And, of course, Emma Frost is somewhat skeptical of Elektra, but then she reads her mind and discovers the real reason why Elektra is there in the first place. It turns out that she wants Emma Frost's help concerning the girl Isabel from the previous issue, who was the witness of one of Elektra's assassinations. Essentially, Elektra wants Emma Frost to accompany with her to go to Isabel's apartment, and Elektra wants Emma to use her telepathic abilities to make Isabel forget that she ever saw that happen in the first place. And Emma agrees to go with her, and as they go there, a kill squad is sent, actually, by the Kingpin to take care of the girl Isabel and her family, to make sure that there are no witnesses whatsoever. Elektra beats the assassins to the apartment and very easily dispatches them at the same time as, and this is also telling a little bit of what of a time capsule this flashback is. The Spider-Man that we see swinging past, munching on a hamburger as he's swinging by, still has his black suit on. It's lovely. It's so fantastic to see that. It was nice to see that again. So the black-suited Spider-Man finds his way into this conflict, and of course the two of them are very easily able to handle the Kingpin's goons, his kill squad. But Isabel obviously is pretty confused about what's going on. Emma is trying to tell Isabel that it's for her own good. She's here to help, and she's here to take her away from all of this violence and craziness that's going on around her. Spider-Man is, of course, skeptical. He's like, what are you doing with this little girl? Where are you taking her? And that's when, and this I think actually, readers, is my favorite piece of the issue, when Emma is gifted to a little glimpse of Peter's mind. And there's a wonderful panel here with some, so I'll get into this artwork in a moment, but Emma looks into Peter's mind, into Spider-Man's mind, and basically sees the truth about who he is and his motives. And that's probably why she doesn't give him a big telepathic KO right then and there. She actually gives him a little kiss on the cheek, which is so sweet. And that surprised me, actually, seeing a reaction like that from Emma, where she is, especially at this point in her timeline, more of an ice queen. But obviously this story is showing some great depth to Emma, as well as her altruistic intentions for wanting to get Isabel out of harm's way in the first place. Which also ties into my favorite bit of dialogue from the issue. But I'll get into that in a moment as well. So Emma takes Isabel out of this apartment complex as Elektra goes off into the night and Spider-Man goes his separate ways. But as Emma is leaving the building with Isabel, one of the Kingpin's men is there taking photographs, which is revealed later the Kingpin has in a secret dossier. At the conclusion of the issue, we fast forward a little bit to Emma stepping forward through a portal from Krakoa. In London, actually. There's a portal in London. And she has some private quarters at the old London Hellfire Club. So she's headed there. As she is just strolling down the street, however, she is set upon by a bunch of guys in a van. She uses her telepathic talents to tell one of the guys to floor it, essentially, and dive the van into the river with the guys still inside of it. And then poor Emma is knocked right to the ground with a punch to the face from none other than Union Jack, who swiftly tells her that he has a side blocker which is protecting him from her telepathic abilities. And before she can use her diamond skin, he throws a gas grenade on the ground, which essentially nullifies her power. Poor Emma, she says, "You'll be hearing from my attorneys and my plastic surgeon's billing office." That, I think, is my second favorite line from this issue. Right after that, Union Jack takes her into custody. He's got Emma in handcuffs. And the last line of the issue, Emma is obviously not happy. Yeah, she is not happy. And she says, I hope Kingpin is. She says, I hope Kingpin is smiling today. He won't be tomorrow. Yeah, that's a great conclusion to the issue. I'm very excited to see what happens with this. It was great to see Union Jack, too, I have to say. It's been a while since I've seen that character. It was nice to see him again. Nice surprise there. Oh, and I wanted to go back to my other favorite line from the issue. I think this issue had some amazing dialogue. I loved both the art and the writing, but I feel like the script was exceptionally strong in this issue. Yeah, if you'll forgive me, I'm just having issues with the reader right now. So yeah, my favorite line from the whole story was one that made me laugh out loud. Actually, during the fight in Isabel's apartment when Elektra, Emma, and Spider-Man are trying to save her from the Kingpin's men, Isabel has Emma has Isabel by the hand and is leading her, and Isabel says, "I'm good with you, thanks. Let's get the fuck out of New York." That was great. That was such a great line. It was truly fantastic. Yeah, I felt like the script was extremely strong in this issue. It was very entertaining. It was fast paced. I didn't feel like I was confused with the jumping between the flashbacks and current events in this issue. It didn't feel jarring at all. And like I said, it was nice to see a lighter side of Emma, where she was wanting to help Isabel in the first place, but also her reaction with Spider-Man when she read Peter's mind and saw there was that wonderful panel, which I felt like was my favorite panel of art from the whole issue. The wonderful panel where you see Spider-Man's face in the middle, and there's Uncle Ben's face kind of centered, and all of these wonderful little bits and pieces, like Gwen Stacy's death, Spider-Man letting Uncle Ben's killer go, him hugging Aunt May, all of these wonderful, really beautiful panels that are meant to obviously represent the inside of Peter's mind. I love it. It was so well done. Such a beautiful panel in so many ways. I would actually, I'd like to see a poster made of that panel. Actually, it would be beautiful. And the art, that's just one example of how good the art was in this issue. The art was very strong throughout, and I feel like in a lot of ways this issue number 2 is a lot stronger in both the terms of the writing and the art than the first issue. It's definitely a much stronger effort, I think, all around. And so on a rating scale, I would give this issue out of a let's give it a scale of 5 out of 5 psi blockers for this issue, where that's the weapon that Union Jack uses against Emma at the end. I think I would give this issue number 2 4 out of 5 psi blockers. I felt like it was really entertaining. It was very enjoyable. The script was very well paced. The art was excellent. And we get to see a ramping up in the tension here. Now Emma's in custody. Where's she going to go from here? She can't use her powers. Obviously, Kingpin has a whole ton of dirt on her, which he's using to his advantage. How's she going to get out of this? It's great. I'm really excited for the next issue. I can't wait to hear what Russell thinks, and I can't wait to see where the rest of this story goes. So that's where I'll leave it for this short and sweet little episode on my solo venture on Tomes of Evil. Hope you enjoyed listening. Hope I didn't ramble too much. I have a tendency to do that when I'm on my own. But yes, this was a very enjoyable issue. I'd recommend this to anyone, especially if you've read the first issue and you were kind of on the fence about whether to pick up the second. I would definitely say this was an improvement over the first issue in every possible way. Next in Devil's Reign, we have 3 more issues coming up really quickly. We have Devil's Reign number 5. We have Devil's Reign Superior 4 number 3. And then we have one which I am supremely excited about, Devil's Reign Moon Knight number 1. I'm so thrilled about Devil's Reign Moon Knight. As everyone knows, I'm a huge Moon Knight fan. And these issues will be covered, the first 2 will be covered on the Capes and Lunatics podcast. And Devil's Reign Moon Knight will be covered on Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. So look for those episodes, or listen for those episodes rather, coming soon. And thank you all for listening. And we'll have some more treats for you coming up on Tomes of Evil in March, including a spotlight on a DC villain. Russell and I thought it's been a while since we've had a spotlight on any DC villains. We've been in Marvel land for quite a while, for a few months. So we thought it would be a good idea to switch gears a little bit. And we'll have more to talk about that later on in the month. In the meantime, also listen for me and Russell's new project, Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is. The Incredible Hulk podcast. And one of the only Incredible Hulk dedicated podcasts there are. We currently have episode 0 available to listen to. And the first actual episode, where Russell and I discuss the first 3 issues of The Incredible Hulk from 1962, is coming out very soon. So keep your ears open for that. All right, take care, everyone. I'm going to hop off on my my Krakoan gate and step forward. See you, everyone. Take care.